look how smooth these fenders are. You know what I'm saying? If it can focus correctly, and it's shiny because I just wiped it with the water. But these things came out immaculate. What's good, Grind Schoolers? It's your boy Rob, and we back in the shop today. So today what we got going down is, man, we are finally gonna be back to work on the Monte Carlo. The weekend, Juneteenth weekend, was super inspirational, man. So many clean cars. Like I said in my previous video, so many people brought out, like, the city came out for show. The city came out for show. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more cars than it has been. It could have been because it was so much, so well promoted and everything like that. But other than that, man, it really motivated me to get my Monte Carlo done. There was a bunch of Monte Carlos there. I think Dash said he counted like 9 of them. And the Gbody showed up and showed out. So with that said, I definitely want to get this Monte Carlo done and wrapped up, because I want to be, first of all, I want my wife to enjoy her car. Second of all, I want to enjoy it too. This motor has been sitting here since March. I finally finalized it and put everything together. So it's been sitting there since March. It's currently June. And, you know, there's been really no motion after that. Like I said, after I ran out of the primer, I kind of just, you know what I'm saying, got into a rut where other things took precedent over the Monte Carlo. But now I got more body filler. I'm about to get more primer, and I'm about to start finishing up the car because I want to get it done. I'm tired of it being wrapped up, and I really want to see the color on the car. I've had the paint for like 2 months now, and it's just been sitting there. So I also want to declutter the space. I got all the parts powder coated and everything like that, just sitting in the basement waiting to get put on the car. So the only thing to do is just put hands on the car. And so that's what we're going to do. You know, I just been doing so many other things. You know, just getting my house together and trying to get the Impala together. But obviously that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, any beneficial, or wasn't beneficial because, you know, can't drive the car. And then also trying to get the Elko as ready as possible. So anyways, man, after the Juneteenth weekend, though, I had so much more motivation to really just thug it out and really do what I got to do on this Monte Carlo, because it's going to be a really clean car, really clean car. I also want to, you know, take it places. The next show that I might, well, I know I'm going to go. Shout out to Cam Byers in Colorado Springs, Old School Customs. I think it's Old School Customs, Old School Restoration. No, it's Old School Restoration. My bad, bro, if I butchered that, but he has a car show. It would be the 2nd annual. I missed last year's because I was like doing something different, but this year I really want to go. If I can't get the Monte Carlo there, the Elko is definitely going to be there. And, you know, I think, I know Dash is going to go, so we'll just trailer our cars down there and, you know, enjoy the day down there. So, yeah, I mean, I really want to get the car ready for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of missing events and shows and stuff like that. You know, I can take the Elko, but, you know, the Elko, everybody has seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing new. It's been like that for a couple of years now. But the Monte Carlo, nobody has seen this car out of the garage, at least in my ownership, and nobody has seen it like it is. So anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to go ahead and start wet sanding the fenders and the doors and getting those done and wrapped up today. And, you know, today's Father's Day, so this is what I elected to do, and that's what we're going to get done. And then when the week opens up, well, next week I'll get the primer. Right now the paint store is not open, so I gotta wait to go get the primer and stuff like that. But once I can get to the primer, I'll go grab it, and then we'll paint or primer the rest of the car, and we'll take the trunk off, do the underside of the trunk, put it back on, and then we'll start painting the car. So anyways, let me go ahead and jump into it. Before we get to the video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, let's go. All right, y'all. So what we got going down is, you guys can see the fenders are ready. The fenders and the doors have been like this since I think February, maybe even before that, January maybe. But the fenders got like this probably about April, and they've just been sitting here, man. Everything's just been sitting here kind of on hold and not really doing a whole lot. So I really want to get all this stuff together. I want to start putting parts on the car so that I can declutter the space first of all. And second of all, get to the rest of the car. This paint job is really holding me up. It should have been done. But like I said, after, you know what I'm saying, I ran out of primer, I kind of got held up, and then also, you know what I'm saying, I kind of ran out of motivation to like really actually get it done. But now, you know what I'm saying, now that the big show, which was the Juneteenth car show, is over with, I don't have to get ready for anything. I'm not pressed for anything. The next one would be like Lincoln Tech, but I don't know if I'll take my car there or not, or just show up and go. I don't know. I don't even know if I even want to go or not, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. But all of this has been holding me up because I'm not going to take the transmission out of the crate because I don't have any space for it. There's nothing, unless I leave the Impala out of the garage, I don't have any space for it. So that's holding me up from mounting it to the motor and putting the motor in. And obviously everything else is just everywhere. So I got to put the car back together, and then we can start doing the motor and transmission, and then figuring out, fuel pump and all that other extra stuff in order to get the car ready to go. The fuel lines are already ran. The body mounts are over there. I just need to put them on. And then that's really the last thing that I got to do under the car. And then after that, we bolt the motor and the transmission up to one another, and it should be good to go. It's already rebuilt transmission. The motor's already ready to go. Besides the last little accessories that we need, like the starter and what else do we need? Flex plate, crank pulley, just little stuff like that, man. A couple other sensors here and there, but that's pretty much it. And then the motor is ready to go into the car. And then lastly, we need a Terminator X. I already did the firewall pass through. Already got the motor mounts and everything ready to go. I need a radiator as well. And after that, man, the car is literally ready to put together and drive. So not that much to do. I just need to put hands on the car. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and wet sand this. We're gonna do it with we're going to 320 wet sand. I got the bucket there. I already got the 320 as well. I just gotta find it. I think it's up there in that box. I just gotta find it because I bought all that stuff before, I got derailed. So I'm gonna try to get the fenders and the doors all the way sanded down, find all the low spots that I need to find, go over there with the body filler one last time, and where I need to do the glaze putty, I'll do the glaze putty, and then these will be ready to go. And I think I'm going to paint this side green as well. So like you can see that side's green, but I think I'm gonna paint this whole entire inside green. You'll never know it's there, you'll never see it, but it's just one of those things that, I know is there, and, it just gives that extra touch inside and that extra thoroughness that, I'm bringing to the table. So, and then also too, man, I think that, with this Monte Carlo, the car is going to be so clean. Like there's a whole lot of missteps on my Elko, and there's a whole lot of things on the Elko that I learned. There's a whole lot of things that are not all the way right, all the way put together, and I kind of just left it half-assed a little bit. And I'm not going back to like redo everything. Like say for instance, the interior is like, you can see the trim falling off, the dashboard is coming out. We still trying to get some of this stuff together. Inside of here, the interior is really clean, but it's not like show car quality clean where you look up in there and you're like, man, wow, dope. And it will probably never be like that because I'm not going backwards with this car. This is the first car I pretty much put together as far as it's gone. It's not my first car, but it's my first car that I actually did every single thing on the car. And I learned a lot, like I said, and now I can apply it to this. But with this, we're being a whole lot more thorough. This car is going to be definitely something that, I will say, is gonna rival shops. Like, you're gonna look at the car like, oh man, wow, like who put this together? Like, where did you take your car? Like, nah, ever since it's been sitting right there, it's been there, and we've done everything there. So, you know what I'm saying? And I got the proof to back it up with the, you know what I'm saying, the YouTube and all my posts and everything. It's been sitting there, and that's where it is, and that's where it's gonna be until it's done. So, like I said, man, with this Monte Carlo, we're going super top level. We're going super thorough. Everything is brand new on the car. Everything. And that's just what it is. And so, like I said, I'm really being as thorough as possible, and I'm taking my time. I'm not gonna rush it, and we're just gonna make it the best car that we possibly can make. And then from this point forward, we'll do that with every car that we have. At least every car that we have that I'm gonna keep. You know what I'm saying? If I get a car that's just gonna come in and go out, then, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna do all this. I'm not breaking it apart. I'm not doing the undercarriage. I'm not doing all that stuff. But like cars that I'm gonna keep, we're gonna be as thorough as possible. So anyways, man, I know that was a lot. I know I'm talking a lot, but I just wanted to get that off my chest and talk about the Monte Carlo, because this one will be on display, hopefully everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just go from there. But anyways, let me go ahead and get started, man, before it gets too hot in this garage, because it gets up to about 9. It's gonna be like 90 today, and I know it starts to get almost up to 100 degrees in the garage. It gets really hot, and I'm not trying to be in there because it's gonna be miserable. But anyways, let me go ahead and get to work, and then that will conclude our day. All right, so the process is the same: 180, 80 grit, you know what I'm saying, 400, 600, whatever. So, well, a little bit different, but I got the 320 sandpaper soaking. I got my block soaking in there. We're about to wrap the block up, and then we'll start doing our X pattern throughout this whole fender, get that done, move on to the next one, and then we'll do the doors. So, like I said, I got this soaking in there. I got my rag. So usually, you know what I'm saying, you could use a squirt bottle, but, you know, I like to use a rag. So when I go through it, you know, I'll sand, and then I'll have the rag in the other hand, and I'll squeeze it onto the panel. And then you could wipe off the excess at the same time to kind of help keep the panel wet, plus wipe off all the excess. I just like to do it that way. It keeps the panel wet just like a squirt bottle, but I'll show you guys what I mean. So pretty much what I do is I'll take the rag, and then I'll squeeze it on there so it gets it nice and wet. And then, you know what I'm saying, like what I do is I'll take the block and, you know what I'm saying, like I wrap it around a couple times. Then you want to try to make sure it's nice and flat. You know what I mean? It's hard to get it flat with one hand, but you make sure it's nice and flat so you don't have no areas that are like, that you might miss or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying, you go in the typical X pattern, you know what I'm saying? And then you get all that guide coat off of there. And after you get the guide coat off, you know, it'll tell you whether you got any more low or high spots. And then you can kind of see the guide coat coming up off of there, nice and flat. And it also gets rid of the orange peel up until this point. And then, you know, you can go ahead and either, well, if you don't have any areas of imperfection, you know what I'm saying, after this is done, the panel will be ready to spray. So you just wipe it off, it'll be ready to spray. But if you have areas that you gotta redo or low spots or whatever, what I learned on the Impala, what I didn't do is, I did do the glaze putty, but I 80 gritted it. And then I left it that way, and I just primered over that. And you can see some of the 80 grit scratches, which was a mistake on my part. You can 80 grit the body filler, but you got to smooth it out with at least your 320. You know what I'm saying? You want to 320 it. So on this stage or this go around, after I expose the low areas on the second pass, I'll go ahead and 80 grit the body filler, and then I will go over it again with the 180 and then the 320. And then after that, I can go ahead and primer it. And I might just 320 dry sand, because it really doesn't make sense to wet sand the body filler. But I guess you have the guide coat anyway, make sure it's all good. So I'll go ahead and 320 it. so that there's no 80 grit scratches at all, because you can see them through the paint. It's a fact. So anyways, let me go ahead and use 2 hands. I'll have the rag in one hand and I'll have the primer or the block in another hand. And then I'm also gonna accentuate this a little bit better, so I have the actual stand is like wider so it doesn't shake. I don't want it to shake. So let me go ahead and extend this stand. Go ahead, get busy, and we'll just move from panel to panel. All right, y'all. So that's what she looks like. I didn't do this part because this is where, hold on, baby, I'll get you out in a minute. This is where the fender extension goes. Oh, you driving? My baby over there driving the car. This is where the fender extension goes, so it's like pointless to do all that. But I did get a couple of burn throughs, like right there, and all my edges and stuff, like right here. So we're gonna have to prime, but man, this thing is smooth. So and some of that gotta get wiped down, but you dancing, baby? And now I got some burn throughs up here. The primer was real thin up here already as it is, but yeah, so we'll just reprime it and then resand it so that it's nice and smooth. Got some burn throughs on my corner here, but I just wanted to make sure I got all that guide coat off. Probably could go over here a little bit more to get that nice and smooth. And got some more burn throughs on here. I'll probably come down here a little bit more, down there, and then I got some more burn throughs. But for the most part, we don't have no low spots anymore on this fender. So when we paint it, it should be dead straight. So I'm gonna go back over those areas that I just pointed out, and then I'll take this fender, I'll put it in the back of the Elko. This one is officially done and ready for reprime, I guess, on the touch-up spots, and then it'll be ready for paint. So after that, we're gonna do this next one, and then that will probably conclude what I'm doing today. Okay, baby. Okay, that'll probably conclude my day because it's starting to creep. The heat is starting to creep up. It's about almost 90 degrees, and I'm already super sweating. So I'm probably gonna do just the fender, and then I'll get to the doors a little bit later this week, and then we'll start painting and stuff. So let me get these last little couple areas. I'll do the other fender, and then we'll call it a wrap. All right, y'all. So I wrapped up this fender, wrapped up the other fender. I had to put some glaze putty in this little area because there was a tiny low spot. But I don't know if you guys remember, and maybe if I could find the clip when I first primered these fenders, I might throw it in here. But it was all like a bunch of ripples, and I said that I would fix it once you know, I get to my later stages of primer and everything. Look how smooth these fenders are. You know what I'm saying? If it can focus correctly, and it's shiny because I just wiped it with the water. But these things came out immaculate. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I guess it just comes with experience, because when I sanded down the other cars, I still had some areas that weren't super smooth, but I'm being real meticulous about everything on this car. Like I said, I'm trying to up my game. But like I said, these are coming out so smooth. This one is now done. So this one is gonna go in the back of the Elko so I can get some more room, because we gotta take the trunk off. And then also the doors are the same thing, man. So I don't know, once again, if you guys remember, but there's a big dent right here. No more dent. I don't know if you guys could tell how smooth it is. You could even see the cross pattern that I made with the 320. So anyways, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a big dent here. I pulled it out and then body filled it. Is this the one? This is where Dash welded in that plate. You can hardly tell because I sanded it down and everything like that and filled it in. We just got to sand in here, make it nice and smooth. Also, there was a dent right here. You can kind of see some of the body filler that I sanded through, but this is dead straight, man. There's a dent right here that I had to pull out. And yeah, man, I mean, You know, I don't know. Also, once again, because it's been so long that I've been trying to do this, I sanded a whole, damn near the whole door was body fillered. Don't know why, like I had stated previously, because there wasn't really that many imperfections. I don't know if they just skim coated it and left it real thick so they could try to match what was going on back there. I don't know. But instead of doing it right, you know, just filling it with body filler so that it could crack. And that's what actually did happen, because this is the driver's door. So that's what actually did happen. Um, the When I first bought the car, it was cracking right here because they had shaved everything. So it was cracking because there was so much body filler on there. So, but we sanded it down to bare metal, did all of our processes. You can go back and look at the videos if you guys are just now joining. If you've already been following the process, salute and shout out to y'all. I definitely appreciate it. I'm about 60% through this door. I still got to do the bottom of the door, but obviously it's up against the car, so I got to make some space. And then we got to do this door as well. I know there's one imperfection area that I kind of saw. I think it's around here somewhere. And I think that might be it. I won't know until I sand it all the way down. But, you know, we'll go back through and we'll reprime the areas that are metal. I would use, well, you have to reprime it anyway, then seal it. But I'm not a big fan of sealer. Every time I sprayed sealer, I don't know how or why. I've tried to move fast. I've tried to turn down the pressure on the gun. I've tried to use the instructions that it comes with, all that type of stuff. I always run the sealer. So I'm not going to do the sealer. I'm just gonna go 2K primer to the to the paint. And the reason being is because you could just prime your areas that you see here that are different colors, prime it the same color, and then once it's primed, you know, you'll never tell. The sealer is so that you could cover up, like say for instance this area here, instead of repriming it, you'll seal it. And so because if you paint over this, you might have a discoloration between this and that because it's a different color. But I just reprime it and we're good to go. So I ain't had no issues and with this car or that car. So, you know, but I have had issues running the sealer, and I've had to go back through and resand the runs that I've made, and it just turns into a mess and it's frustrating. So I don't want to do that. I'll just reprime the areas that you see that are not, you know, that need to be reprimed, and then we'll go straight to paint. But anyways, man, I just wanted to show y'all that. I think I'm gonna conclude this video because you guys get the point of the 320. I'm gonna just go ahead and finish the doors on out, and then, excuse me, once I'm done with that, I will go ahead and finish priming up the trunk and the other side of the car. And I think this side needs one more coat, so it'll be 2 coats on that side and 1 on this side. Take me like 10 minutes to really knock it out. And then after that, man, I could take the trunk off, sand the trunk down, paint the trunk, put it back on, and paint this jam here. And then we're ready to paint the car. Well, 320 the car down to, and then we're ready to paint the car. So I'm gonna work on this every day until it's done, because that Kings of Colorado car show was really motivating for me. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing how many clean cars were really out there and just elevating every single year. It just seems like we're elevating our game out here in Colorado, and I definitely appreciate it. I love it and I respect it. And you know what I'm saying? This will be a contributor to the car game. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a contributor along with everybody else. Although I am kind of disappointed that everybody has a Monte Carlo. I mean, by far there's more Monte Carlos than any other old school there. First of all, like we kind of probably rivaled the Mopars. You know what I'm saying? How many Gbodies and Monte Carlos and stuff were there. But it's all good, man. The Gbody game is strong. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely appreciative of that. And I'm definitely thankful that I got 2 of them, the Monte Carlo and the Elko. You know what I'm saying? I love my Impala and everything like that. But, you know what I'm saying? The Gbody, you know what I'm saying? That's where my heart really lies. You know what I mean? So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and finish these doors on out. I'm gonna make a little bit more space, and then I just kind of want to cut down so that I can make this whole area cleaned up. So we're getting real close to being able to put the car back together. I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can to get it done. And then, you know, it is what it is. But I'll cut you on when I start repriming and 320 wet sanding the car. And then, you know, we'll be moving on to the next stage, the next phase, which will be painting the car. So all of that is the paint that is for the car. I had this for what, 2-3 months now, probably about 2 months now. And you know what I'm saying? It's just been sitting there. So anyways, let me go ahead and move this fender, and then, you know what I'm saying, we'll move on to better things. All right, grind schoolers, that's gonna be it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We got the fenders done, we got the doors done. I got a little bit more to do, work to do on the fenders, as far as like, I'm gonna paint the inside a little bit. On the other side, I did the outside to like where you could see, but I didn't do the inside where you can't see. I want to do the inside where you can't see, just for, you know, like I said, just, I don't know. I mean, it really doesn't even make sense to do it because the fender liner goes inside of there. You won't be able to see inside of there on the backside, but you know, at least I'll know it's there. So I'm still debating whether I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. We'll see. I got a little bit of green left, and I still got to use that for the trunk, the hood, underneath, and everything like that. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We're finally getting this Monte Carlo done. Hopefully we get it to completion really soon, because I'm ready to put the car back together. I want to be able to put the motor, or continue to work on the motor, work on the transmission, throw all of that stuff in the car, and, you know, get the car down on ground level again, so that we could, you know, see what it looks like. And, you know, who knows how long it's going to take to actually get it to be back running again. But we working, man, we working. Like I said, the Juneteenth weekend was super motivational, and I've been out here working ever since. So anyways, man, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Always remember, work hard so you can live free.